Well, there was already an intro of what was going on in Legend of in Land of Hyrule, so it will be time to now begin Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, aka Zelda 3, aka third game of the Zelda franchise, aka a really good and important game at the history of the game. So let's just start a new voyage. Which is gonna be good, and it's gonna be quite blind because spoiler to a game over 30 years old. Yep, they will be. There's about to be there's a little dark world half, and that's a way more different. That's something I really don't remember. And that one has some nasty stuff, but the light world is quite easy. So let's just start. And as you could see, SNES had been out for about a year when this game came out, and Nintendo really took this title seriously. They had only made 2 Zelda games, which were quite much of a sleeper franchise at that phase. So they took it very seriously. They commissioned highly renowned mangaka Shotaro Ishimori to do a 12-part serialized adaptation, which they released, which would appear in Nintendo Power. Now I think that might be one of the first meetings with many Western audiences with manga, and that's actually a very good adaptation. I don't know exactly how was the time frame going. Did the adaptation first appear at the magazine, or was it something like it would appear later? Or something like the adaptation started a bit before the game came out, but it doesn't really matter. That's a good adaptation. I'm quite certain that it can be found online. It was made with a Western style, from left to right arrangement of dialogue, and it is actually. If you know the story of this, you know the general story beats of that adaptation. Even though, of course, there was lots of artistic license and necessity dominating that one, but I'm gonna quit referring to that. I would say, as in like saying that over half of that adaptation goes to what is in this game would be something like an early third, and with some characters which did not appear. But hey, things are bad in Hyrule. Princess Zelda has been kidnapped. There's evil wizard Aganim. Let's just start. Link, because that is what he is. I'm a prisoner in the dungeon of Miss Zelda. Wizard Aganim has done something to realms and girls, and only I remain. Oh, the castle is now. Yeah. And that would be Link's uncle. He left and said that he's going to be back. There's a roaring noise of the storm, and that would be it. And for some reason, Link either has pink hair or he has some sort of fur lining in his green cap, and of course, and maybe quite prominently pointy ears as well. But the game's graphic style still followed quite basic of the square setting of the character, which is a Link. Looks very fluffy. And that would be the first item of the game, lamp. Yep. And this would have been very impressive graphical style show at the early 90s. There's clear rain, and well, let's just go. Oh, yep. There's some castle soldiers. Yep, game is very much telling where to go and how to go, when to go. And so to give you some little spectacle and sense of urgency and grimness. So, alright, I already found the castle. Oh, yeah. I'm not going home because I'm asleep. And Ian. Actually, that garden is outside the castle, and it would be right here, very prominently shown. The only food port you would find, and that is the remixed dungeon treasure finding map. And no more roaring rain. And we fell to the puddle. So already game is showing lots of technical improvements over the first one, which over the original Legend of Zelda, which had come out about 5 years earlier, which at that phase of video gaming was an eternity ago. Technical development at then was so fast that basically game might have looked really great if it came out early year, and by the end of the year it would look absolutely obsolete. So 5 years of development time at that phase was a very long time. And first generation from 8 to 16 was from leap from 8 to 16 bits was very, very big in practical, in gameplay design sense. So yeah, Link can actually has shield and sword. He can not just stab with sword, he can swing and do a charge attack, which does double damage. And there's money, and there's also magics. Magic is used to make use of lantern, and so yeah, it was start. The save menu. Oh yeah, and the screen also. Once again, I'm outside, and now I can cut to the bushes, which was a new thing. And now I'm inside the castle. So let's just do a little bit of guard avoiding who are quite stupid. And now I am at the first dungeon, Hyrule Castle. And I would say that it was quite dark that the Green King has already been murdered. So you could say that the storyline is a bit more, you could say, involved than it was in the original one, which had no any mention about King. In this one it was simple. Aganim has just came into alone, kicked asses, and killed the king, and now he just usurped the kingdom and all that. And of course he would have impressive, powerful mind control abilities and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can find keys, and there's also a animation of pushing things. And now I can find the map. Yep, there's even levels of castle and floors. So dungeons are gonna be way more complicated than in the original one. And there's even dropping down mechanics, and some enemies can be shoved off the edges. So they introduce a lot of new mechanics at this phase of the game. And I would say that it's a real shame that this kind of locations to actually kick enemies off the ledges don't appear that much, because it's real fun. So yeah, so way more three-dimensionality, even though the game itself basically plays on a flat terrain, and so much more. And the dungeon rooms themselves are scrolling, not just flat screens. So much technical improvement compared to the first one, even though the basic gameplay and styling is very much going as evil. Bit of a mistake. And this is just an introductory basic dungeon tutorial segment of the game that, yep, no need to pick fight actually with these enemies. But in this room, it's necessary. Yep, kill all the enemies rooms are here as well. And first dungeon treasure, the boomerang. And also accompanied by kill all the enemies of the room. I do say that the triumphant sound of solving the puzzle is always good, but if you hear it that much, it's gonna get slightly annoying. And the game also even kindly tells you that where you are going. So I am at the 3rd floor dungeon. Link can of course pick up vases. Oh, there's a princess, and looks like some sort of nasty guard over there. So it would be time to make use of the items, and we get a big key, which is a new mechanic meaning that yeah, you can open big locks with them. Usually that means that you get to a boss room and a special dungeon treasure, which I already got. But walk right through it, get some money. Why would I guess that was Princess's own money. Oh. Yep, he's got the mind control ability. Yep, well that's why he's wizard. Do I understand? Oh yeah, I do. And now we got the, well, escort mission. But it's not escort mission in usual sense, because Princess just follows us and they can't take any damage and all that, just a visual little trickery. But looks good and gives a real sense of action and events going on. And seeing how trigger happy and stab happy those guards are, they most likely might not be particularly intelligent. Or maybe the mind control on them. Sorry, Princess, but one of your employees just fell into trap. And interestingly enough, the fall was interrupted when I walked up the stairs. And still raining. Oh yeah, the Link getting hit sound is the same old punchy sound as always. Thank you, Princess. You are very helpful with that. But this is an interesting little staircase. It looks to be going straight up instead of circling around as the general most circular staircases in this game go. And Link can even chop through curtains. Just to show that, yep. And once again, Zelda's giving complete instructions. Yep, now you can also push things, which don't necessarily are something that just push, it moves automatically and solves a puzzle. Nope, some things you may have to push a bit more. And there's rats. But luckily, Link's got... Now, I really don't know, do these rats have any fancy video gamey name, like a couple of other things in this game have, which is to say, bat enemies are called keys and snakes are called ropes. Although that might be just a case of, yeah. And speak of the devil, here are ropes. Or did I say here are snakes? And how in hell would snakes should be this mindlessly aggressive? And I do say that the Link's lantern effect is quite in nice little technical detail, or extra little trickery they added. And of course, presence of magic power. But we're already seeing quite much of, you could say, familiar enemies of the original Legend of Zelda, which is to say keys and ropes, over to say snakes and bats. And also, well... Yep, thank you. And rats cannot walk on water tiles or water stages, which is real nice little extra detail. And they even dropped money. So now Link is wading through all the smelly sewage areas. I do say that the rats are quite fast, so with this I'm not using original NES SNES controller to which this game was designed, meaning that it may not control as accurately as it is necessary, but luckily the general combat difficulty of this game is not that prominently big that it would be really required to make use of it, but still making light of this. And the music, of course, I did not make research on who made the music. It might have been Koji Kondo, although maybe not. Made really big use of the, you could say, heavier sound chip available at the SNES to make this music sound way more grand than the original one. And of course, so far it has also been completely new compositions as well. Let's just put here and switch to boomerang. Yeah, boomerang is a great weapon. It stuns the enemies. So far, there's been more characters appearing. So let's just go. That switch over there. Which one you meant that, princess? She ain't that stupid. I don't think Zelda has ever been particularly written as a stupid damsel in distress, but let's just pull this one. So, drop that whole horde of snakes into my... being barraged by snakes. Alright, thank you for giving me some gameplay tutorial about how to perform a basic maneuver. So let's just kick in the door. Oh yeah, of course it's my doing. Why else would Link be there escorting the princess out? Oh yeah, so yeah, go and kill the Kingslayer and prevent a violent coup. And there's even some plot. And if I would say I don't understand, he's just gonna repeat it. So yeah, I understand it. Kill the evil wizard. Oh, yeah, thank you. Well, I guess it's something like a barely armed, untrained kid is something like the only hope left. So let's just take the heart container to get myself the first full heart of the game, and let's just also end this episode right here. This was the first part of the Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, aka Zelda 3. So let's just make a big triumphant spin and end this game right there. See you next time. See ya.